Welcome everybody to the Phenom Hoops podcast. Here, I'm your host Patrick O'Brien. Here with Jamie, Rick, and Jeff. Here, we're back again talking about some different discussions we want to talk about this week. It's been an exciting week actually for Phenom Hoops. Overall, we've had some new hires, including myself. There, had some other guys come join the group here. Jamie, Rick, talk a little bit about kind of the exciting news that's been going on with Phenom Hoops.
Well, we're excited to have you back as Director of Operations.
Let's go. I'm excited. I'm excited to be back.
You've done a great job already, and we're already seeing the fruits of your labor.
Yeah, I'm glad. It's been exciting.
Pop Scout in the house.
Yes, yes.
You guys got it? So I hard work on three, sprint to the next spot. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hard work. Sprint to the next spot. Don't walk. Get there.
Okay. Well, you talk about talent with our group there, but it's also been an exciting week. Also, because Phenom Hoops been doing a lot of their updated rankings. It's about that time of the year. You see all these outlets now putting their national rankings out, but Phenom Hoops is doing the same there through the state of North Carolina, South Carolina as well. But this week we updated the North Carolina rankings, the 2021 class, 2022, as well. We put out our watch list for the 2023. Those are the three topics that we're going to talk about a little bit today. But let's start off with the rankings for the 2021 class here. We had Carter Witt, we had Cam Hayes, Jaden Michaels, and Bryce McGowan and Dontre Styles to round out the top 5. So let's start with y'all here. What are your thoughts on that top 5 of what you kind of see from those 5 guys?
I mean, we can start with starting with Carter, obviously at 1. Just a pass first point guard. I think he's proven his game has kind of been the same over the years. He's just gotten better at the same stuff. A great floor general, really sees the floor well, high-level passer, but he can also score the ball. Right. And his athleticism's, notably improved. So it's justified to see him have, all these ACC, SEC-level schools all over him.
He's one of the craftier point guards, I think, in the country. His court vision is impeccable. I think the thing that's impressed me the most is his shooting. He's become a more consistent perimeter shooter, especially from the three-point line. I think last year we watched him play, his shot was a little bit flat. He's really worked on it. His shot's a little bit more arch, and he's become more efficient because of that.
Yeah.
But being able to, as a good passer as he is, the court vision, but the ability to score from the perimeter makes him that much effective, because what you'll see is he'll give it a little shot fake, little couple drive dribbles, he's right to the rim, he finishes well, and he has the athleticism to dunk on somebody.
Yeah.
I think with Carter, the thing that really sticks out to me is his demeanor. It's never changed. He's never rushed. He always plays at his own pace. And as Rick said, he's very crafty. As Jeff said, his vision, his court awareness is unbelievable. His ability to create angles and to create passes and actually look his teammates open and stuff. I think is great, but his demeanor and his pace is great. But I also think another thing too is he's bigger than you think he is.
Right. 6'3".
Yeah, like you look at him and he's and you walk up to him and like, oh man, he's like 2 inches taller than I am. Like he's big. He's bigger. He's legit size. He's 6'2", 6'3" as a guard. I mean that's a high major guard size. So all that stuff combined, I mean he's just he's that guy.
Yeah,
and I think his recent offer was Ohio State. They really like him a lot too.
Yeah.
So, he's the type of guard that's going to be recruited nationally.
Oh yeah. That's no surprise. I mean, I remember watching him with y'all when he was just a little kid there, and we were still amazing. But you knew the talent was there, and now it seems like it's all clicking there. Another guy that's kind of clicking. We watched him at the top 100, and we were really impressed with Cam Hayes.
Patrick, I remember. I was going to say about Carter. I remember that was the same event that we discovered Dorico. They were playing in the Country Day back gym, and Carter, playing up as a 7th grader on the 8th grade CP3 team, was the best player on the floor in the championship game against that Team Heat with Callan's dad and Anthony Randolph and that squad.
I do remember that. That was a long time ago, but man, it just brings you back to how long it's actually been with him. But the other guy we were talking about was Cam Hayes.
Well, I remember when he first came to our junior Phenom camp. I'm sorry, but junior Phenom had Zion Harmon, had Carson Corporal, had Carter Witt, had Jaden Springer. The junior Phenom camp sneaky with how the line of talent that comes year over year.
Yeah,
that's one thing a lot of times people don't understand. Like a lot of times people poo-poo the idea of having camps at the middle school level, but it's really fun to watch some of these guys when they're in the 7th, 8th grade and just watch their development from the 7th, 8th grade all the way through high school and then on to college. And we've seen quite a few of those over the years.
Yeah, I mean, we just had a camp this past week. this weekend, the ENC, a junior phenom, and I can tell you right now, some of those names that we saw,
Definitely.
they're going to be up there.
Yeah, what we're talking about.
They'll be up there. We talked about some other guys. I just mentioned Cam Hayes. We watched that top 100. We were both impressed by how he was with the point guard. And he's really developing his skill and kind of showing what he can do, getting highly recruited, as well as Jaden Michaels, now picking up some high major offers there. Talking about some of those guys with Cam Hayes, Jaden Michaels, Bryce McGowan's now coming to North Carolina, and Don Trestell's kind of being that known name there. Talk about some of those guys what you like here.
Well, everybody knows about Cam on the offensive end on the court. I think the thing that he can be a difference maker is on the defensive end. He's 6'3", he's really long, he's athletic, has good lateral quickness. He can be somebody that can be a really, really good defender at the collegiate level.
Yeah, that's very true. And in that system, also with Freddie and everything, it's really, that's really talking well in there.
And so many times when we talk about young players and prospects, we always talk about the offensive game. We really don't talk about the defense. And that's, I think, one area for Cam Hayes that could be a difference maker for him over some of the other people at the same position.
Yeah. What about you on some of those others? Like Bryce, I know you watched Bryce a few times, Jaden. Stuff like that.
Well, I guess going down the line, progressing with Cam, I think where Cam really sticks out is his ability to play within the pick and roll. Cam can really shoot the ball, which is kind of a difference maker. Going to the CP3 Elite Guard Camp, nobody could shoot the ball. I mean, you had Cam Hayes, RJ Davis, Devin Askew, and then a whole bunch of dudes that were throwing it up against the backboard. So that really separates him apart nationally with his ability to shoot the ball with range and all that kind of stuff. But his ability to navigate within the pick and roll as well. I mean, he's very, very precise. He plays at his own pace. He gets into the open spot. He can get to the basket if he needs to. He can pull up with a jump shot in the mid-range. Just give what the defense gives him. And him playing in that system with Greensboro Day, it kind of stymies a little bit of his production with how good he looks. I mean, you kind of never know what you're going to get from him with the Greensboro Day, but in seeing him play in the open floor, seeing him play, in the camp type setting, like the top 100 camp, like you said, where he's given a little more free reign of ability to work the ball and move the ball and play basketball. He looks really, really, really good with his ability to read the floor, especially within the pick and roll type of offense. And I agree with Rick. He's got unbelievable physical tools, 6'2", 6'3", athletic and long. If he does buy into the defensive side, I think that he has the dimensions and stuff to be able to be a possible difference maker on that side as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you guys pretty much summed it all up. Physically, I mean, he has all the tools to succeed at the high level in college. But I'm interested. I think the best basketball for him is still in the future. I think he's still his upside is tremendous. I mean, as we've spoken about, Rick loves talking about the high tailbone. I mean, these guys look likely to grow. So I'll be interested to see what Hayes does. I mean, kind of transitioning. I feel like Jaden Michaels, arguably the most complete player out of all 5 of these guys. Size, strength, versatility on both ends of the floor. I mean, we saw him last year at Burlington School anchor this team on both ends of the floor, a 3-level scorer, a switchable defender that legitimately was able to guard 4 positions and be a leader as a sophomore. I think he could be even better this year, not necessarily with the coaching change, but just I think the situation's right. I think he's getting better every day.
He's grown and gotten more mature too.
Absolutely. I mean, and he's already a quality athlete. It's hard for me to find much to knock about Jaden Michael. He just has a really, really well-rounded game.
Yeah, for me, the thing that sticks out the most about him is if you look toward the NBA level right now, the most valuable aspect of basketball is the two-way wing, the playmaking wing who can also defend multiple positions. Yeah. That's an incredibly valuable asset in the NBA right now, and that's what Jaden Michael is. He is a multi-position defender with great athlete. He's already got a college-ready body. He's long. He's quick twitch. He can do all that, defend multiple positions, move his feet, and all that. But he can also create on offense with the ball in his hands. He's going to need to get his jump shot more consistent. He's not a bad jump shooter, but he's going to need to polish it up, make it a little more consistent. But he's got years to do that. But his two-way ability as a playmaking wing and a defensive stopper, I think, is really the attractive nature as to what Jaden Michael brings kind of to the table. And just like Cam Hayes, he's a very engaging person, very nice kid, always thank you, all that kind of stuff. But also will work his ass off in the gym, gets in the gym, gets it done. first one in, last one out type of guy.
Yeah.
Also, he has the ability to play inside out.
Yeah.
He can post up, smaller defenders, but he also can step away and hit that 10-foot jump shot, but also put the ball on the floor and finish at the rim.
Yeah. Talk a little bit just to kind of finish up these top fives here about McGowan's and Styles. What have y'all kind of overall seen with them?
Well, McGowan's comes from, he's a South Carolina kid. His brother Trey is at Pittsburgh now. Had a great freshman year.
Yeah.
Bryce and Trey are not very similar as players. Yeah, Trey's probably a 6'2", 6'3", explosive combo guard. Bryce is a 6'5", long, very smooth a player. Trey is downhill to the rim. Bryce will handle the ball. He's a great ball handler. He shoots the cover off of it. All that kind of stuff. He's kind of got the full arsenal that you want with projectable size, the projectable length, the ball handling that you want in a prototypical two guard. The ability to shoot the ball, the ability to come off the screens, the ability to actually initiate offense and do all that kind of stuff. He's got all the tools. The interesting thing about that though is the bloodlines. As with Trey didn't really reach his explosive strength until maybe his junior year of high school.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And then all of a sudden he just took it to an entirely new level. Well, Bryce is entering his junior year of high school. So it's going to be interesting to see if the bloodline kind of stays the same, where he gets to another entire level of athleticism. Because if that comes,
wow,
he's probably a top 50, if not higher, player in the country.
If that clicks over,
yeah, because he's already got 25 plus offers.
Yeah,
he's already got
offers.
Just slow offers.
SEC.
Yeah, so he's one that if that does happen though, he'll quickly gain playing at Lincoln Academy, gain the national type stuff, and will go to an entirely new level.
Yeah.
And might be one of the best shooters in the class as well.
Yeah, his game's just smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth.
What about Styles with y'all two there, Rick and Jeff?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, I mean, quickly on McGowan's, I think honestly there was an argument to be had for him as the number one player already. Even not having played a game in North Carolina, he's that good. He just has a full package, and I think that alpha mentality, while it's not something that usually comes over time, I think that it's more of a switch. I think it'll turn on for him, and I think that he might really start dominating like his competition over the next year. And then Styles, I feel like another guy that could have easily went 1 through 5 in this ranking. Already a defensive monster, incredible athlete with size, and I think that's a huge appeal for high major schools to be chasing him. But then his offensive game just continues to get better by the day. Shot the ball at a respectable clip on the UIBL from beyond the arc, but also has a nice mid-range game, can post, can take guys off the dribble from the wing. He just has a really nice game.
Yeah, he's probably one of the more, the stronger and more explosive guys as far as in the top 5. But the thing about the top 5 that we've mentioned, I think out of all of them, we could probably put their name in a hat and draw number 1, 2, and 3. They could all be interchanged.
Yeah.
Well, I think you can go deeper than the top 5 because already in this class there are 15 guys who carry high major offers.
Yeah.
15 players within this class. I think that if we were to ask 15 people who follow basketball in this state, I think that you would probably have 13 different number 1 players possibly.
For everyone.
Yeah, and we've discussed this many times. This was the most difficult class to rank because of the overall depth and the parity of all the players. And if you look through, like Jamie said, 1 through 10, 1 through 15. There's a lot of parity. There's not a lot that separates 1 through 10.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, that's a good point to make.
Yeah,
because a lot of people are going to look at this class too, because you have the recent classes that we've had with McDonald's All-Americans at the top.
Yeah.
We have one and done Bam and Harry. We have Kobe and Devon. We have these no-brainers at the top.
Tiers,
clear tiers of players.
Yeah.
Well, this doesn't have that tier. That top tier of this guy is probably a second tier type player normally, but it goes down deeper. Yeah. So this class is deeper than people give it credit for. It just doesn't have that top end type of top 10, top 15.
Big names.
Yeah, the big names that North Carolina typically has, which the following class 22 definitely has as well.
Yeah.
Well, usually we have in our rankings 1 through 75. People have Division I offers, or they go to Division I school. And usually we go up to 125 players out of any certain class that either is playing at the D1, D2, or D3 level. Yeah. That speaks volume right there as far as the overall depth of the class. This class here in 2021, you're probably going to see some guys maybe at the 75, 80, 85 range. Hey, they may get a D1 offer or go to a D1 school.
Yeah.
That's how deep it is.
Yeah.
Great class.
And you can look at all the rankings on our website at PhenomHoopReport.com. Just go to the ranking section. On our section, you'll see 2021 North Carolina ranking. I want to go through each one of y'all's. Kind of a little different category. Throughout our rankings and everything, Who are some of the big names that made the biggest jump, and then maybe some other guys that people really need to start watching coming this high school season that could make an even bigger splash, maybe in the updated rankings, or really showcase the stuff that people don't really know about. Jamie, I'll start with you first here.
So for me, the guy that I guess took the biggest jump would be Omarion Bodrick over this summer. He's somebody who the Independence team last year was very deep. They were senior heavy. Bodrick was kind of the sophomore who started on varsity as a sophomore. So he wasn't quite in the forefront. Well, all those guys graduated. He came to play with DTA Elite in the summer, and he put himself squarely in the forefront. It's hard to ignore his game.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those things where the guy waited his time. He kept working, waited his time. Then all of a sudden his time came, and he took a hold of the spotlight and did an unbelievable job. And he was we accordingly ranked him to where he should be. He's an unbelievable defender, unbelievable shot blocker, leaper. Just a kind of a game-changing type of person, both with momentum as well as making the big play, the hustle play to change momentum. But for me, Omarion Bodrick was one who really took a jump this summer, and not so his talent, his confidence, and all that stuff has always been there, but his role expanded and he took a hold of it.
Yeah,
he accepts his role very nicely. I think the one thing that he needs to work on that will take him to the next level, if he ever develops a consistent mid-range and perimeter game, it'll be lights out.
Yeah.
It'll be over. He's a high major prospect.
Yeah,
Without question.
Yeah. Rick, who's the guy that kind of jumped up in your rankings that you or have an eye on?
Jamari Thomas.
Yeah. Wow. You've been talking about him all summer.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know whether we had him in the rankings coming into the spring or summer, but here's someone that was out with a torn ACL and had knee surgery, 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And didn't play during the high school season. And we saw him a few times at our events, and he was impressive, but the more you see him, the more you really like him. He's 6 feet, 6'1", still wears that knee brace, so he's not 100%. But the thing that I like about him more than anything is he is a complete dog on the court. He is a competitor.
Yeah.
He competes at the highest level. And I went to go watch him play at the Elon Elite Camp.
Yeah.
And I was watching him through the stations, the drills. No matter what it is, whether it's stations, drills, or a game, he goes 100%. I love his work ethic, and I just love his mentality on the court.
Yeah.
I tell you, Thomas has the type of mentality too. I agree with you, Rick. That he will play against a guy who's highly rated, more highly regarded, has better offers, and just kick his ass on the court the whole time. And just eat his lunch, and you walk away like, which one was the one that had the big offers?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, yeah, I agree with both you guys on that. I think Bodrick's a guy that, while he's very productive, a lot of his stuff doesn't show up in the box score, the score sheet at the end of the day. I guess there's an obvious one I feel like still left. I'm gonna say Javante Waverly.
Lots of Javante there.
Yeah.
We saw him enough times that nobody on our staff should have any questions about how good this kid is. He's unbelievable. He's brilliant. Especially on offense with the ball in his hands. He just, we've said it and we beat this phrase to death, but he just sees the game steps ahead of other players. He just sees the game in a different light. He just has an advanced feel for the game. He's a workable scorer. He can get to the basket and he plays a little bit below the rim, but his jumper's workable, formidable for now. And he makes guys pay on both ends of the floor. He's also a rugged defender. I feel like because he's not a high-level explosive athlete, it kind of gets overlooked how good he is defensively and as a rebounder. But yeah, I think Waverly, and he can continue trending upward.
The thing that Waverly does is so impressive is his ability to pass off the dribble with either hand.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about making a pass off the dribble in 10, 15 feet. He can make it the length of the court off the dribble. And his precision on this pass is unbelievable.
Yeah, and that doesn't only pass his ability to score too. If he wants to turn it on, he can turn it on, score it if he needs to. But that vision is outstanding.
All time trash talker too in North Carolina. He's very subtle with it, but he's an unbelievable trash talker.
Yeah. So there's the three names that we think that made a big jump in definitely in the rankings this year, and definitely should be ones that you should be looking out in the high school season.
Yes.
Guys got it? So hard work on 3, sprint to the next spot. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hard work. Sprint to the next spot. Don't walk. Get there.